welcome back to California Cooking. Today, we're getting you ready for Thanksgiving. First, sometimes it's hard to come up with an appetizer for Thanksgiving Day. You're busy in the kitchen, so we've created a mini grilled cheese with all the flavors that you know and love from a cheese board. Then, something new to try this Thanksgiving Day, I'm learning how to make a butternut squash and endive salad. If you're looking to step up your side of cranberry sauce, my mom's in town to show us how to do that. And finally, this is a great dish. I'm making stuffed acorn squash. First up, there's nothing I love more than a good charcuterie board with a glass of wine. So I decided to take all of the flavors that you know and love from a cheese board and turn it into a mini grilled cheese. Take a look. As we head into the holidays, I thought it'd be fun to make an appetizer that if guests come over or maybe a little bite before you have a holiday party, this is your answer. And I came up with it because I had this olive loaf and I didn't really know what to do with it. Friends had brought it over and I thought, I could make a sandwich with this olive bread. And so I saw some apricot preserves in the fridge. I put that on the bread with some sharp cheddar cheese and it was so good. And then I thought, these flavors remind me of a cheese board, right? And when you have a cheese board at a party, it's always nice when people take a little nibble of the ham and the cheese and the preserves. So if you put all of that on a sandwich, you have a charcuterie board grilled cheese. So the olive bread. Now I know everyone isn't a fan of olives, so maybe if you don't like olives, you could get a raisin bread or a nut loaf or something like that. Something with a little texture. And how I'm gonna do it is really easy, just like you'd make a grilled cheese. I'm going to take the apricot preserves, so you get a little salty and sweet action. Spread it on both sides of the bread. Get it on every edge, you want it all coated. Now as far as the cheese goes, it's really up to you, but I think the sharp cheddar really works with cutting through the fattiness of the prosciutto and the sweetness of the apricot preserves. Then we'll take a piece of the prosciutto, and you wanna put cheese on both sides of the bread so it holds the prosciutto together. I'll assemble the sandwiches here, and then I'll take them back to the pan and grill them up. When I make a grilled cheese, I do a combo, butter and olive oil, because butter can burn. It's got a low smoking point, so I put some olive oil to keep that from happening. We'll put our grilled cheese in. Uh-oh, our prosciutto's hanging out. And just let them brown. And make sure the cheese gets all gooey in the middle. Okay. And then we just wait. Oh yeah, baby. Our cheese board grilled cheese are out of the skillet. The cheese is gooey, the apricot jam has caramelized a little, and I'm gonna cut them up and put them on a board like you would a cheese tray. And instead, this will be a yummy little appetizer. And the thing, if you are having a party, you could absolutely keep these warm in the oven. Prosciutto, olives, sharp cheddar. And you just want the cheese to be ooey gooey, and then just cut them into little triangles so people can have a bite. I think adults, you never grow out of the love of grilled cheese, but this is just a grown-up version. I thought to add a little bit of fruit to the tray just to make it look a little more filled out. Add some color. I'll just cut some apple. This will taste delicious with apples. All these flavors work together. Here is our grilled cheese tray. And then I think I'm gonna decorate it with just a little bit of rosemary. I'm gonna try my grilled cheese, a little glass of wine with this. It's salty, it's sweet, you taste the olives, perfect little bite for a cocktail party or before dinner. Those mini grilled cheeses are perfect for any holiday gathering. Coming up, my mom is showing me how to make her cranberry sauce. It's light, refreshing, and she makes it every Thanksgiving. Then I'm making a stuffed acorn squash with sausage and kale, but will Levi like it? But first, I'm learning how to make a delicious salad for your holiday table with some amazing fall flavors. That's coming up next. It's always nice to have a seasonal salad on your Thanksgiving Day table, so Chef David Pho is showing us how to make a delightful butternut squash and endive salad. Take a look. Chef,
Okay.
what are we gonna make?
So we are going to make a beautiful endive salad, blue cheese, butternut squash, pomegranate, walnut,
Oh my goodness.
and some apple.
Such lovely flavors.
And top with some beautiful marigold.
Look at how you decorated the plate. That's lovely. So these are all kind of homey, cozy ingredients.
Yes,
But
very
like you said,
approachable, yes.
also light in the
Very
way
light,
you...
exactly. Light, all vegetable, you know, and a little bit of cheese, you know,
Yeah.
to top, but you know, it can be done without the cheese, you know, but why we
No,
pass,
why would we do
pass
that?
out. You know?
Exactly.
And then we're gonna do a light dressing, very seasonal with lemon juice, freshly squeezed,
Yeah.
pomegranate molasses,
Oh, nice.
olive oil, salt and pepper. and
Okay,
that's it.
so go ahead. Let's start
So-
the salad.
So we cut the endive. Here we go. So maybe we do like this one.
Go to the
We're gonna
purple.
take the red one, purple, and then we do the same. So now we play with a nice color. I like
Yeah.
colorful. You know, like a salad should be very colorful.
Yes. And it has creamy, crunchy, soft, sweet,
Absolutely.
vinegary. It
Exactly.
Kind of
We
got it all.
want to have like all the elements
Yeah.
into it. We do the pomegranate.
So pretty.
Go. We put some of
What
this.
a great dish this would be for a holiday meal, just to have
Absolutely.
on there something light.
And then we will also dice the cheese. We're going to mix the cheese into the salad.
Okay.
So we take off the rind. I mean, the cheese very, very mild. We're going to do a quick dressing.
Okay. And this is lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Yes.
So about 2 spoons.
Now,
This
I've
is-
never cooked with pomegranate molasses.
No.
I've heard about it, everyone uses
Yes.
it, but tell people what it's like.
it's a very condensed sweet.
Yeah.
Very, very, it's like almost candy. You know,
Okay.
it's a really great concentration of pomegranate.
And it has a little tang because of the pomegranate,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is. So you do about, you know, like so. See, like about a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Okay, about 2 spoons of lemon juice, and you're gonna mix this way. And then we put a little bit of salt. So fleur de sel, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
like a very,
Pretty.
it's also very mild salt. A little bit of this pepper, and then so the molasses is gonna dissolve,
Yeah.
you know, make this beautiful color now. And we're gonna do about 2 of this, about. I mean, it's really for your taste. So not too much oil. And now what makes the salad is to, you know, to make sure we're gonna mix all of this ingredients very, very well. So the cheese kind of smash and goes between every little piece of endive.
I like what you're saying.
So that's how we do a very good salad. It has to be properly seasoned, not overly dressed. Like my mom used to say, you know, you need to mix the salad until you see it smoke. And that means you need to really...
Now you do the same as mom taught you.
Exactly. So
Could this sit for a little while, or?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't have too much of
Right.
dressing. Is not, and then all of this is pretty hardy also. You know,
Yeah,
like
it can
endive
take
is
it.
not something that's gonna wilt.
That's right.
If you do like a mesclun or those mixed green, those tend to wilt very quickly. This is very hardy. So I think we're studying. You know, we are getting pretty
Perfectly
good.
coated.
There we go. Perfect. And then on the
Your
secondary,
walnuts
the
toasted.
walnut toasted, and then we do apple.
Look at these slices. How perfect. So you kind of julienne the
Yeah,
apple?
like little bâtonnet. I mean, you know, it's rough, a little bit rustic, and we add it at the end,
Beautiful.
and then we continue mixing. So the cheese continue melting. It's continue like rubbing against the
Until it smokes.
the bowl until you see the smoke.
I've never seen someone mix a salad so intensely.
Alright.
It is well mixed.
So now
And
it's mixed.
Everything's coated beautifully.
Yes. And because because we are so particular, we're gonna make sure we get the last drop of the
Little bit.
dressing. And then, it's very easy. So we're gonna pour this salad into a beautiful bowl. We can finish with a little bit of a pomegranate, a little bit more pomegranate to bring some more color. A bit of walnut. And then we're gonna take this beautiful marigold. And then we open.
Oh, how beautiful.
And like a little bit of this red one too.
What a lovely winter salad. That is beautiful. I can't wait to try it. Chef, shall we taste?
We shall.
We shall. Do you mind if we just go in with our forks?
Please.
Keep it casual,
Please,
right?
exactly. That's family style, we call
That's
it.
family style. I know. I have to get on my tippy toes, though, to get in here. Okay. Oh, I've got a little of everything. This is a good bite.
Okay, and I'm going to try to do as good as you did.
The blue cheese, the pomegranate seed, the endive, the crunch seed.
Exactly.
And then
Crunch, sweet, savory.
the squash is so nicely tender. That is a delicious, what a beautiful salad for the holidays.
A great body,
Yes. And your mom was right about mixing it like that.
Yes,
Everything's perfectly coated. I have to say, I was blown away by how delicious that salad was. I usually don't love blue cheese, but all of those fall flavors in that salad is perfection. Thanks, Chef David. Coming up, my mom is showing us how to step up your cranberry side this Thanksgiving. Then I'm making a stuffed acorn squash with sausage and kale, but will Levi like it? My mom and dad came to visit recently, and I kind of forgot to tell my mom I wanted her to cook with me. She's a little shy. She's never been on television before, but I convinced her to make her cranberry side dish that she makes every Thanksgiving. Here's how she does it. We're gonna do a quick cranberry sauce, relish?
Relish.
Yeah. You always make homemade cranberry sauce.
You know, I might be the only one in our family that really likes it.
Yeah.
But to me, there's something about, all the heavy food and the rich food. It just kind of cuts through, some
Yeah.
of that richness. And I like a little sweet with my savory, so.
And it really is easy, and it's so much better than the can.
I think so. Yeah, it doesn't have that texture of that jelly.
Yeah. So this, you usually use the raw cranberries.
Fresh.
The fresh that are in the bag. But this year, we're trying frozen.
And they turned out beautiful.
They are. They're so red.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
gorgeous. We took 2 bags of frozen cranberries, and you just cooked them down on
Cooked
the...
them down with a little water and sugar,
Okay.
and they pop open and they make their own kind of a little bit of a gel.
And how long did you cook?
Probably about 15 minutes.
Okay, so
Not long.
just to thicken, and then we cooled it in the fridge.
Cooled it in the fridge, got a little bit thick.
Yeah. Okay, so talk me through it. What do we do?
Well, you're dicing up the celery. You need
Yeah.
a little crunch and a little color, which is nice. So
I
we
have
do,
3
and
stalks.
everything is pretty finely chopped.
I have 3 stalks of celery.
And then we have 2 different kinds of apples, a sweet apple and a tart apple. And these are the ones we chose.
And you don't even peel them. Red apple, green apple. Oh, you can dump the other stuff. What do you have?
I'm a big fan of the crushed pineapple. I think it works really well. So
Yeah.
we dump that in, and I'm also a fan of the mandarin oranges.
And we drain those.
We drain them, yeah. And then you can already see how pretty this is going to be with all the colors, the,
Like jewels.
the greens, the oranges, the reds,
Yeah.
the yellows. It's so pretty on the table.
Should I put these in now?
You can.
Okay. Wow. Pretty.
Pretty.
And then some brown sugar,
Uh-huh.
because those are pretty tangy.
Yeah. You can
I'm gonna
put a
do-
1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup.
Okay.
Depending.
Should I start there?
Yeah, you can start
See
there.
how it goes?
Uh-huh. And I would wait to put those in last. I would,
Stir it
give
up?
that a good stir and then add
Okay.
the nuts.
Here we go.
Beautiful.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. And I like that there are some whole, cranberries and then some are crushed.
It's
a
chunky.
Nice texture. Okay, I'm gonna put the
Okay,
nuts.
put the nuts. Okay. And that's it?
That's it.
That was so
And you can make that
fast.
definitely the day before.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it in the fridge, which is nice on
Right.
Thanksgiving, not to have, to make it. And taste
Okay.
it.
All right, Mom.
Wanna go
Taste-
in?
Yeah, go in
Because
and
I think I know what it is.
sugar,
Better than
sugar-wise, what we need. Good.
I wouldn't add any more sugar.
Really?
It's tart, and you want it to be tart. Because it's not dessert, it's a salad.
Just when you think it's really sweet, then you get the...
A little pop of it.
Good job, Mom. Oh, Mom, that was fun. See, it wasn't that bad. And Dad was in the background the whole time, taking pictures just like dads do. And Mom will be back around Christmas time. Okay, on to one more dish for your holiday table. Stuffed acorn squash. A lot of people might be intimidated by it, but it really is so easy. Take a look. I don't know about your family, but at our house, we always have the same dishes every Thanksgiving, but sometimes it's nice to change things up a little bit. And I've always loved the idea of a stuffed acorn squash. It looks pretty, it's a single serving. If you cut this in half, then everybody gets their own portion of acorn squash. And there's so many different ways to do it. And I thought, okay, what if, as I attempt to cut this in half, what if I stuffed it with sausage and kale and pine nuts? So I'm gonna give that a try today. The hardest part about squash and any squash recipe is cutting the squash. It is very precarious. You need a sharp knife, and I got smallish ones because then when you cut this in half, one half will be a serving. Okay, there you go. And behind me here, you may hear it popping and cooking. I've got sausage. So I got 2 links of Italian sausage. You could do mild or spicy. I went with mild. And I basically took the casing off, which is the casing around the sausage, and just got the meat in a pan, little bit of oil, and you want to get that nice and brown. We need a spoon to scoop out the seeds. So we have got our acorn squash hollowed out. I'm gonna put them on a baking sheet. I'm gonna add a little olive oil, butter, a little bit of butter in the middle. And this is just a well to catch yummy ingredients. That in there. Some salt, a little bit of garlic powder. And the more you flavor up the inside of the squash, the yummier it's gonna taste. A little nutmeg. Always reminds me of the holidays. Okay, smoked paprika. And then these are gonna go in the oven. So first we're gonna get these nice and soft before we stuff them. 400 degrees, check them at 30 minutes, but probably about 40, 45 minutes until they're fork tender. So while the acorn squash is in the oven, I'm gonna cut up a little bit of onion. So this will go into our sausage mixture, which will be the stuffing mixture. Maybe 1/4 of a large onion. Once we get our onions in the pan, I'm then gonna add some kale. And the thing about kale, which most of us have probably cooked with kale, this stem, too woody, too fibrous, so you wanna get rid of the stem. So then we want to chop it up pretty fine. Let's go back to our saute pan and cook up our veggies. Okay, in go the onion. Little too hot. I put a little bit of avocado oil, so I kept the same, basically it's the sausage pan, took the sausage out because it was cooked, and then added just a little more oil, but it's gonna pick up all the flavors of the sausage, which will be nice. And you just wanna cook these until they're softened. So our onions have softened. Now in goes the kale. That was just about 3 or 4 leaves of kale. And you're gonna let those cook until they get nice and soft and wilted. I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken stock because look at what that does. It deglazes all of that brown bit at the bottom of the pan from the sausage, and that's where the flavor is. That's one good way to just get all that flavor off the pan, and it's easier to clean the pan after you're done. A little bit of stock or even water. 1 clove of garlic. Our kale mixture is done. I'm gonna add the sausage back in, and this will be our stuffing for our acorn squashes. And I cooked the kale until that chicken stock evaporated. You don't want a wet mixture necessarily. All right. Our acorn squash are perfectly cooked. They are nutty because they're nice and brown. They've got a little bit of the nutmeg, smoked paprika. Ooh, before I get to that, a little bit of pine nut. I'm gonna add some pine nut to our mixture, and that'll toast up. I always love a toasted pine nut versus a raw one, but these will toast up as they bake. Now you stuff. top with a little bit of panko breadcrumb. It'll get that nice browned, crispy crunch on top. Add some olive oil because the olive oil will help it brown. Otherwise, it's tough to get the breadcrumb to brown otherwise. Some Parmesan cheese on top. And that'll get nice and melted into the breadcrumb. Okay, these go back in the oven. Everything's cooked, so basically you stick these back in the oven until the breadcrumbs get nice and toasty and the cheese is melted. Our acorn squash are out of the oven. Look at how cute these are. Nice and browned. Cheese is melted. They were only in the oven for a second, and then I popped them under the broiler. I popped these under the broiler for literally a minute, maybe. Gotta keep around them, and now they're nice and crisp on top. And look at that, what a nice addition to your Thanksgiving table. Stuffed acorn squash. That is definitely going on my Thanksgiving table this year, but will Levi like it? Take a look.
I don't want this at all.
Why not? It's very big.
So how can I eat it?
It's a stuffed acorn squash.
I don't like squash.
Do you like squash?
No. You eat it. You eat it. You eat it. You eat it.
Should we have it for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Will you eat it then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the stuffed acorn squash, not his favorite, but I'm sure there'll be other things on the Thanksgiving table he's into. That does it for us. But next week, we're gonna show you how to cook the perfect Thanksgiving turkey and make ahead gravy. We'll see you next time. Do you want me to give it the old, like the
No,
ketchup bottle?
we can't do that actually. Like my mom used to say, you know, you need to mix the salad until you see it smoke. And that means you need to
And
really...
now you do the same as Mom taught you.
Exactly, so...
Should I not done it?
That's fine. That's perfect.
Shout out your Instagram handle.
Oh, bro.